Hello everybody, welcome back to the Bad Bookers Wrestling Podcast. My name is Jack and today we are reviewing last night's SmackDown Live. A very, very, very good SmackDown Live at that. I don't understand how the same show can produce even Raw and SmackDown. I just don't understand, because this SmackDown was fantastic from start to finish in my opinion. We kicked off the night with Charlotte Flair. She came out with a video of last night, or Monday night, of when Vince McMahon replaced Becky Lynch with Charlotte Flair. And she comes out and she says that she really wants to say that her heart breaks for Becky, but it just doesn't. And that in the past, Becky's chosen her to face Ronda Rousey at Survivor Series. And that's because Becky, she knows that she wants the myth to carry on, but she also knows the myth of being the man to carry on, but she also knows that Charlotte is the backbone of the whole women's division and has been for years. She also says that Vince McMahon made the decision because it's the smart decision. You know, he knows that he's not going to waste a moment with a flash in the pan such as Becky. He's going to give this opportunity to, like I said before, the backbone of the women's division, which is, in a sense, is true. She's the one that's been at the top for all this time. She was the one that was main event in pay-per-views with Sasha back in the day and whatnot. I say back in the day like it was ages ago. It's only a few years ago, but you catch my drift. She then says that she's going to dedicate her inevitable WrestleMania victory against Ronda Rousey to her best mate, Becky Lynch. And, you know, she's doing a perfect job to get the crowd riled up and getting perfect heat on her. It was just fantastic from start to finish. She then says that she's on Sunday at the Elimination Chamber, she is going to be at the front row for Ronda Rousey's match with Ruby Riott. And you never know, she might have a new opponent to face at WrestleMania. Fantastic start. Charlotte is doing, and I forgot how good Charlotte was as a heel. She's fantastic. Much better as a heel as a babyface. Perfect. We then had a triple threat tag team match to determine who would enter first, second in the Elimination Chamber on Sunday in the women's tag team title match. Obviously, Bayley and Sasha are going to be one of them because they got pinned on Monday. And we had Carmella and Naomi versus IIconics versus Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville. And IIconics did not enter the match whatsoever. Very, very tactical, very, very genius in a way. Every time someone went to tag them in, they would just jump off the apron and whatnot. So they didn't enter the match whatsoever. So it's pretty much just a tag team match between Mandy Rose, Sonya Deville, and Carmella and Naomi. And it ended with Naomi picking up the pinfall on Mandy Rose, I think it was. Yeah, it was Mandy Rose. So Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville will be going in second. Will be starting off the match with Sasha Banks and Bayley. It was a good match. It was an okay match. It was quite a fun match. I liked the tactics of the IIconics. That was quite good. And I'm not going to say I'm super, super excited for the Women's Tag Team Elimination Chamber. But at least they've built up to it quite slowly and steadily. And, you know, they've decided who's going to come in first and whatnot. It should be a good match, hopefully. We then had the segment of McMiz TV. First of all, god-awful name. God-awful name. Tonight's guests, or last night's guests, on McMiz TV were the Usos. Obviously, they're going to have a match this Sunday. The Usos versus McMahon and Miz for the SmackDown Tag Team titles. The Usos come straight out and ask Shane and Miz, oh, do you eat together? Do you train together? There was something else. Do you ride together? And the answer to all that was no, they don't. They're not a proper tag team, unlike the Usos. And, you know, it goes back to Shane and Miz, and they get some cheap cheers from the crowds, like mentioning the town name and whatnot, and all that. The Usos don't like it, and Miz says, oh, if you don't like that, should we just start talking about Mandy Rose? Something like that. Obviously, the Usos, Jimmy Uso, was it? Or Jey Uso, I can't remember. One of them. Married to Naomi, and they had that storyline and whatnot. And then what happened after that? Miz and Shane, they chat some more, and it ends up in the Usos super kicking both Shane McMahon and The Miz in the middle of the ring. Shane McMahon, he dives his head in the way of these kicks. He did it with the Brogue kick when Sheamus did it. He did it this time as well. He just puts his head forward to make sure he gets clattered by it. Someone needs to tell him that wrestling's fake, you know. But yeah, I guess the Usos have the momentum going into Sunday. I couldn't see them winning it anyway, but I really hoped they would. But we then had the main event, and you might be thinking, this is only the fourth bit of action that's happened. Yeah, it was the Gauntlet match for all the men in the WWE title match on Sunday, and it lasted just over an hour. And Kofi Kingston, who has replaced Mustafa Ali, kicked off the match with Daniel Bryan. Obviously, Mustafa Ali's not cleared because he's had so many injuries recently, which he's been working through apparently, and he just hasn't been cleared, unfortunately. So he got replaced by Kofi. All the New Day came out and started teasing which one it would be. It was Kofi. And Kofi, my man Kofi, lasted, I think it was dead on 60 minutes or 61 minutes. He was the Iron Man of this. It put him over so well, made him look so strong. He defeated Daniel Bryan, Jeff Hardy, and Samoa Joe. He then got eliminated by... So I've written down the time. So 25-minute matchup between him and Daniel Bryan, which ends in a pinfall for Kofi after a Trouble in Paradise on Daniel Bryan, the WWE champion. He then puts away Jeff Hardy with an SOS, which was 33 minutes in, and he's not stopping there. Samoa Joe puts a coquina clutch on Kofi, but Kofi kind of ran up the turnbuckle, landed and did that spot. AJ did it with Samoa Joe. Kairi Sane did it with Sonya Deville. Just pinned him that way, kind of like with the coquina clutch still on. And that was 47 minutes in. And then Samoa Joe then beat up Kofi Kingston after the match, put a coquina clutch outside the ring. AJ Styles came out and kind of beat Samoa Joe away, I guess you can say. And he was asking Kofi if it was okay, could he carry on wrestling? And Kofi was like, staggering, and AJ was like telling the ref, like, I don't think he's going to be able to compete, and Kofi just pushed him away and was like, I've waited 11 years for this moment, I've waited for 11 years, I ain't backing down, fight me, pushes him in the face, and AJ Styles just lays into him. I think it was about a 10-minute match, 57, 58 minutes at this point, and AJ Styles locked in the calf crusher onto Kofi. Kofi was selling the leg ever since Daniel Bryan, I think, was selling the leg. He tapped out to AJ Styles. The crowd gave him a standing ovation as he left, which he deserves completely. And AJ Styles did not last long after that, because Randy Orton came in, RKO, 1, 2, 3. So Randy Orton will be entering last in the Elimination Chamber, which I thought would happen. He seems like the perfect guy to enter in last in the Elimination Chamber, get all these tired folk and RKO them all. It seems like the sensible thing to do. And that was SmackDown Live. Like I said, that match lasted over an hour, and it's only a 2-hour show, so there wasn't too much in terms of different moments, but it was a fantastic WWE know how to do a gauntlet match, and they know how to do it well. I'll give them props to that. This SmackDown Live, I'll give it a 4-star and a quarter. I think it's joint best show of the year, alongside last week's NXT, I think it was, both getting 4 stars and a quarter. I thought it was near enough perfect. I probably would have given it 4.5 if Kofi had won, but there you go. If you did like that, please leave a like on the video. It means a hell of a lot to me. Please subscribe if you're new or you haven't done so already, and I shall see you again Monday for Elimination Chamber review, I guess. Thank you very much for watching.